Hi student, welcome to this new project of the system engineering and DevOps track. So you are going to start to deal with the real stuff. You are going to start building your infrastructure, and we will start by like basically like managing your first server and installing your first web server on it. So for this project, we will use Nginx, which is one of the most widely used web server. And to give you an idea of what, like the big picture of this project, this is what you will end up building. So the end goal of this project is that the Airbnb clone that you are actually already working on will be hosted by this web infrastructure. It needs to be reliable, it needs to be secure, it needs to be working, and it needs to be fast, right? So here we can see like all the different parts coming together, and this is basically what you will have by the end of the track, which is a fairly common infrastructure among a lot of them, right? And that's like a typical setup for a website. There are a lot of them, obviously, and the more the website has traffic, the more the website is big, the more complicated it gets, obviously. But that's like a fairly good start to know how all of this is working and how to build it, how to manage it, how to fix it. Like again, system engineering is a bit different than programming. You will be interacting with an operating system. You will be that has a lot of like different things, memory, CPU, disk, IOs, network, and obviously an operating system is a complicated thing. So at the beginning you might be a little bit lost, and oftentimes there are multiple ways of doing the same thing. That's okay. That's completely okay. That's normal. That like you can do things different way. That's fine. The project will guide you in like like doing at least like in one of the good ways. But don't be afraid about not being sure that you use the best way. That's perfectly fine. And also you will need to learn how to interact with a system that can have like a lot of different issue depending on the context, depending on how like there is a lot of moving parts. So that's also something you will need to get familiar with. It may be challenging at the beginning, but the more you will manage your server, the easier it will become. So also I introduced something new in this project, which is basically automating your work. The goal is that if you can automate repetitive tasks, then you can focus on more interesting work. And ultimately, that's what software engineers do in their job, right? You don't want you want to give the boring like repetitive tasks to robots, AI, or like just bash scripts, which is basically what you are going to do here. You are going to like come up with a solution on your vagrant machine or using a Docker container, and then on your server, and then you will need to come up with a way to automate the task that the automate the how to say the solution that you just came up with. So that in this exercise you need to install Nginx, right? So you do it for one server, but let's say you are working for LinkedIn or for Facebook or even for like startup that's growing, and you might have like hundreds of servers, thousands of servers, so you won't do it manually, right? Bash script is one way of doing it. That's not the cleanest way, and you will see better way later, but for now we'll use bash scripts, and that's already a great step, like just to have this mentality of automating your work. And so you are starting to do this in this project. As I said, I mentioned Docker, so we will start to use Docker. You can start to use Docker in this project. We will work with DNS. That's something very important for the web. That's quite exciting that you are starting to work with this.